with the first question, okay? I will ask to you, Nayara, can you read to us, please, and give your thoughts about that?
Mm, yes. What personal qualities do you want to develop this year? Uh, um, well, I'm trying to improve my business vocabulary because you're saying about that people don't share about this, but I think it's because they like to share things that can be used for everyone, like to ask for help in hospital, or if you can um, something, if you want something to eat or to drink, in at the restaurant. So I think it's for that, because if you learn about business vocabulary, it's particular to each person, so it's difficult to teach about this. But of course, I put like a priority in my life, the English, because I really like it. It's not only because I want get a better job or to travel, because yes, I want, but it's because I want to uh, just be happy, because it's something, learn English, it's something that makes me happy, and I really like it. I like this moment. I like to practice. I like to talk to myself in English, and I don't have afraid to make mistakes. It's something fun for me, and I think people a lot of pressure in ourselves, and I think this is not good when you want to develop something. So if you want to achieve your dreams, if you want something in your life, just do it with constancy and focus. But you don't have to be so serious. You can having fun and just relax and do what you want, because it's your journey. You don't need to compare your life to the other. Maybe you have a good English in, I don't know, 1 year or 2 years, but it's not the same for everyone, because you have your life, you have your family, and your problems that you need to solve during the day. So I think it's really particular to each person. And yes, I, I don't know if I can say qualities, but I am a kind of person that I put this pressure on myself. Sometimes I'm so hard and with myself, and I try to just thinking, oh, maybe this job, it's not the last job of my life, and I can change if I don't feel good with this work environment, and I don't feel good with my career. I can change. It's not a problem, because people sometimes they get crazy, I don't know, and like, oh my god, I need to stay here for the rest of my life, I can't change anything, and this is not true. But yeah, sometimes I have problems with this, because I am an anxious person, and I have problems with anxiety and depression, because sometimes I don't feel good with my life, with my relationships. But I'm do therapy because I think it's good for your mental health. But yeah, I think it's that I'm trying to do something that I like, while I'm doing something that I don't like. For example, now I am working because I work from home, and I'm here to study English, and just do it two things on the same time, because it's good for me. Maybe it's not good for you, but it's good for me. And I think it's that
No,
that I want to say.
I had to say to you, you are wrong. It's good for me. Had you and Katiana and Amanda. For sure, I can say without ending this conversation, it's the best conversation I already had in talking since I can remember the best conversation I had in English because everyone here for me is had a really good in English, so congratulations and to everyone. And Nayara, I had to say to you, I understand what you're saying about sometimes be hard with yourself. I'm this way too, and I already had my moments doing therapy, so I understand you, but I really like what you say about enjoy the English, I sometimes I saw people who look to English as a obligation, it's a mandatory thing for your job and for your life. And this is not, and for me, it's not this way, Since I can remember in the high school, I always prefer to study English than Portuguese, but the last 2 years I'm more focused, trying to gain more experience. And for me, English is that, when I'm talking English, I I I remember a video I saw on Instagram yesterday, a guy saying, "I'm more happier in English because all my traumas is in Portuguese," So I'm a happier person when I'm speaking English because it's a dream, it's a teenager dream because I always liked English classes. In the high school, I came from a public school here in Brazil, so I think you can understand what I'm saying. It's a, it's not a good uh, school, but I had a good teacher. I always was curious about English, and I prefer studying English, and that teacher really helped me to gain vocabulary. So I'm happy speaking English, and I understand what you're saying. I think I can say I'm in love by English, because the way you can learn a lot of things, because the entire world, I think most part of the world speaking English. If you need to do some research, you go to do in Portuguese, you came with some results. But if you research the same thing in English, this change everything for me and for my experience. So I understand what you're saying. And what about you, Katiana? What is your personal quality and you want to develop this year? Of course, the English can be in the top of it, but can be other thing. What do you think about that?
The English for me it's a goal for I running behind for I think 10 years. Estou correndo atrás de 10 anos. But for me, the English is one big goal. But I need to study more in these years about programming, about Python, Power BI, because in my job now, this kind of skills, it's so interesting and necessary. For example, now in the engineer area, we use uh, programming for many different things. And for me, if I have these skills, I looking for a good opportunities. It's more easier for do the things in my job, for example. And but I need time for develop these things because programming it's not easier for the engineers because it's not common in the uh, imagine, guys, I finished my graduate 60, 70 years ago, and don't imagine use programming in my career. But now it's necessary. If the one engineer in 5 years don't programming, I think don't have a good jobs. For example, in the area where I work, because now everything in the oil and gas it's with technology, and the English and the programming. It's my the things that I need to develop in my career and my life.
Yeah, but you say something really interesting, Kachan, because I think all the professionals in some point in the future will ask this kind of skills, you know. You are an engineer, so you are saying that, but Nayara is in the financial area. I think it's that financial area, all right. And but I can saw a lot of financial companies nowadays asking for data engineers and software engineers too. Maybe in the analysis area, you at some point you need some basic skills. I'm not talking about advanced skills, how to build a website or something like that, but the basic, you know, how to, what is a if, what is a else, what is a loop. And this, I think in the future, this, if you want to be more well paid, you will need some skills on not even in English, but in programming language too, you know. I forgot the word in English, but você vai precisar saber um pouco mais de programação, lógica de programação, programming logic, I think. And what about you, Amanda? I know we already talked a little bit about that, but you are changing your career, but what is the main quality you want to develop these years? It's the
Well,
programming language skills.
also, the English, it's important, of course, but for me, as I'm changing career and if everything is new for me, I'm learning a lot of systems and tools in quality assurance. That's what I'm focused. I'm studying in the university analysis and system development. So there I study C Sharp, .NET, something like, oh my gosh, crazy. But a part of that, I'm studying because university is not, we have the fundamentals, but we need to improve ourselves out of that. So I'm doing some programs where I study tools in quality assurance, like Postman, Microsoft Azure, and Android Studio, and Docker, and this and that. So for me, this is my goal for this year because I really want to get a job in 2024 in this new career. So
And we'll
I'm
get.
all good thoughts. And I'm developing these skills. I'm training is every day. I start early in the morning with the English, and then I go to listen the classes because I study online in the university. So I study, and then after that I go for my trainings and on the tools and those kind of things, doing some projects because to start in this new area is hard nowadays. It's not easier like before. And I'm not young anymore, so it's even worse.
Yeah, I can assure to you nowadays it's more tough and more hard to join this little community, you know, because I started programming when I was a teenager, so it was a long time ago. Internet here in Brazil wasn't something common, but even I had not so well uh, in financial, you know, my family, it's not a rich family, but my dad and my mom always say to me how important was study. And sometimes we had on rice and beans to lunch, but my mom paid me a course to learn how to use a computer. I think I've made 4 years courses related to computer until I get my own computer, you know. So I had a lot of knowledge and I couldn't put in practice because I didn't have a computer in my house. So they made a lot of effort to that. So since I start, everything was easier. You only had HTML, a little bit of JavaScript isn't so common now as is nowadays. I saw the beginning of the use of CSS, So I think it was easier to me because I think if was nowadays, I couldn't enter in this area because you had a lot of knowledge and technology. You had to know Docker, you had to know programming language, then you had to know Python, then you had to know HTML, then you had to know a lot of difficult words, and but I understand what you're saying. But you are doing a good job, and if you uh, ask some advice, I'm not in the quality assurance, but if you want to some help, you can ask me. No problem, I will be happy to help you. So I think we can move on to the next question. Since we are in a good mood today, people, I think it's been a good conversation. I think we can jump to other questions. I will ask it to you, Katiana. Can you choose a question? Can be the number 2, number 3. You can choose random question you want, and then we can move with your question, the question you choose, please.
I jump for the question number 6. How do you balance ambition with personal well-being?
That's a good question.
If I understand correctly, it's the balance between my personal life and my professional life is correct or no?
Yeah, it's kind of, I can say, people had ambition in their lives, what they want to achieve, but sometimes the ambition cannot be so good to your well-being, so how you balance that in your life, the goals you want to achieve, your ambitions and your personal well-being.
I think, guys, you're listening the Frozen no áudio atrás, estão ouvindo?
I had 2 daughters. I totally understand.
Sorry, because I listened Frozen yesterday, today.
Let it go. Let it go.
Guys, but I think the life it's about a balance. Everything it's about a balance. For example, now, for me, for example, I love work from home. For example, I don't have ambitions for a very good job, pay for double for I received now for them because I love stay at home. It's part of my routine. I love stay with my family, lunch with my family, have breakfast, and I think it's a balance. For example, when I start my work, I work a lot. If it's necessary, I work in the evening. If it's necessary, I wake up early and finish my job. But it's a balance because I love my job now, but it's for me, I have a balance between my personal life and my professional life. If, for example, I received the opportunities in this area, but I need to go to the FPSO, precisava embarcar. The salary is so bem mais alto, é o dobro ou triplo. But for me now, my focus is in my family and my daughter, stay together, my daughter. Sometimes it's not easy because when you're looking for the money, only for the money, oh, it's you. Sometimes the people say, no, you have experience. It's possible for you receive double or the double, triple. But for me, for example, now my priority is other, and I think it's this. It's not easy because sometimes I say, no, I'm crazy because it's possible do the other things. But the life it's about a balance. No, if you don't stay with my family now, my daughter never have 7 years again.
Yeah, I totally understand you, and I totally agree with you because I know the feeling, make decisions about your life. This was make me quit my job as a police officer. If you are from Brazil, you understand what being servidor público means to a Brazilian. They people look to you, oh, você está com a vida garantida because you are a public servant. So, but for me, it was hard to stay away from my family 1 day, 2 days. I had daughters, and sometimes I go back to home, and my daughter learned something new, and I wasn't in my house that day. And this hurt me, but this helped me to choose. I work from home, and it's the best decision I make in my life. I'm pretty happy with that. So I totally understand you. And what about you, Nayara? Question number 6. How do you balance ambition with personal well-being?
Uh, I want to be honest because I don't like when people say that, oh my God, work from home, it's like a dream, I really love it because it's not the same for everyone,
Yeah, I know
because
that.
I having problems with this right now. I work from home, and my work environment, it's like terrible. My mental health is a trash because that, I really, I feel so stress about my job. Sometimes I start to work like I'm working now since say 6 a.m. and sometimes I finish my work middle night or 2 or 3 p.m. because I am off the other day because it's a lot of work to do.
And a lot
And
of pressure,
yes,
by
and my
results and those things.
yes, and my team, it's not a good team, because they don't support in me. When I ask for help, for example, it's not possible help me because they don't have time enough to do all the things. So yes, I don't like to say, oh, that it's really good to work from home. It's good because I can stay here, I stay close to my dog, and I can do, I will not say that I can do more things in my day because I can't, for me. And for example, I'm trying to do more exercise, but in the end of the day, like when is 6 p.m., I don't have energy enough to go to the gym, for example. I don't want to. I just want to take a shower and eat something, just go to my bed. It's just that because yeah, I'm just a financial analyst, but it's a big company, and I with a team that it's not it's not good.
Okay.
So I think it's important uh, to be surrendered by people who supporting you, that want that this person want the best for you. And I think this is the most important. And because sometimes, okay, you can do you can work with what you like, but you are surrendered by people that get you anxious, for example, and I don't know, like suck your energy. I think it's something like that. And